week 12 of the What Are We Thinking podcast. That is absolutely mind-blowing that we're in week 12
Can't believe
right
we are
now.
already 12 weeks in.
Just thank
Congratulations.
you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much,
thank
Caleb.
you guys so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all this stuff on the podcast, for listening to it, for being there with us. I mean, it just blows my mind. Even yesterday, I heard two different stories. We have a teacher that goes to church here that happened to be listening to two other teachers as she was getting her classroom ready for school to start. She was listening to two other teachers talk about how they listen to our podcast. They didn't even know she was watching.
That's so funny.
And then yesterday morning, as I'm walking out of the gym, someone, and he goes to our church, but still, this is 30 minutes the opposite direction from where those, or it's an hour opposite direction from where those teachers were in Brewston.
Right.
I'm in Martin walking out of the gym, and as I do, a guy looks at me and his eyes get wide and he drops his mouth and he holds up his phone because he's listening to the What Are We Thinking podcast as I'm walking by, and I was like, that is crazy. It blows my mind.
Cool.
So thank you guys for tuning in and sticking in with us. I know sometimes we are so random and it feels like sometimes we just ramble about stuff.
Banter.
It is banter.
Love banter. I love that more than anything.
So just thanks for being here. Josh, how was your week this week, dude?
It's been a great week. I have started a whole new plan. I'm running more miles this week, so that's been good.
That's a big deal because Josh is old, in case you guys didn't know that.
I am old, so
every 1 mile for him is like
it is.
You know,
it's a big deal.
every 1 mile for me is like 4 miles for him.
It is. So and I've started foam rolling my legs. So if you don't know what foam rolling is,
it looks legit. Like, does it feel really good?
It does actually feel good. It actually relieves a lot of just tension and stress out of my muscles. So I do my hamstrings, my calves, the side of my leg, and then I do my quads before I run and after I run, because I notice when I don't do that, the older I get, the more little nagging little injuries I have. And then I have a golf ball and another roller in the freezer. I use those on the bottom of my feet.
Nice.
So it's a process. And today, shout out to Nick Bear again. I tried another product of his this morning. It's called G1.
Awesome.
G1 M Sport, something like that. But anyway, it was a electrolyte and carb drink, and I literally knocked about 15 seconds per mile off of my time this morning after doing hamstring workings this morning. Dude. Then I went and ran 4 miles, and it was actually a lot faster.
Okay,
so,
one, that's
it's like
amazing.
Shaving a whole minute.
No, for real.
Yeah.
One, that's amazing. Two, speaking of hamstring workouts, I worked out my hamstrings. I've been seriously targeted my hamstrings for the first time. I mean, in 6 months, honestly.
Yeah.
On Monday, and I am still brutally
the
feeling
worst.
it today. And
Hamstrings are the worst.
and I'm dying right now.
Yes.
When I used to work out hard, the legs is the only thing I could never, because of the pain.
It's
the soreness,
horrible.
it lasts forever.
It's horrible.
It
the
does.
pain
You
is
can have
the
a
worst.
solid
It does
upper
last
body
forever.
workout, and then the legs
You feel great after. The soreness feels amazing in your
it's
chest
something
and your biceps
you
and
want
stuff.
more of.
But you don't walk on your hands, so you don't really know how sore
feel
you
it.
really
You don't
are.
feel it constantly every single
Until it's Sunday morning. This is pastor problems. Sunday morning, you're raising your hands during worship, and it's man, that shoulder. I'm feeling my shoulder workout all of a sudden.
That
now.
needs to be a Thursday thing.
I wasn't feeling it before, so yeah. But
same.
What else, dude? Anything else special?
Man, just a good week. My wife has been working this week. I got to meet her boss.
Oh yeah,
this week.
Yeah.
He is actually from Pakistan.
Seems like a pretty interesting dude.
Very interesting guy. We had a meal together. He showed me so many things, taught me so many things, different perspectives on living here, just that I never had thought about before, and where he used to live, especially he's from Bangladesh. So that was a very interesting take. I love learning perspective. I love learning people's lives, so their stories. So that was really cool to hear his story and where he's from.
Yeah, it brings a lot more value to the surroundings on your day-to-day life, understanding what is actually valuable.
Absolutely.
What you get gifted with.
And if you're wondering who this other voice is on the podcast,
I was waiting.
It is Caleb Nelson. We want to introduce
Caleb
Nelson to you. Caleb is he's a storyteller for sure.
Yep.
He does great video work. He has his own YouTube channel. And Caleb somehow made it to McKenzie, Tennessee
feel like that's all of our stories.
Yeah.
Out in the world. That
UFOs
I
are
never
real.
knew.
That's how we all
Right.
got here,
That's
by
exactly
UFOs.
right.
Like we weren't really.
I got
actually-
dropped off a year ago.
After they analyzed me and tested me, they dropped me off in McKinsey, Tennessee. So that's how UFOs are certainly real. So Caleb Nelson's on the podcast today. We're gonna be diving into some stuff with him, but you hear this other voice, it's definitely Caleb.
Just for anyone wondering, and you're gonna get to know Caleb here, and
absolutely.
Really, I'm gonna get to know Caleb here in just a little bit as well.
We've had a couple conversations back and forth, but
I've only met Caleb once prior to this, so I'm excited for.
But how was your week,
dude?
You're on the podcast. You weren't on the podcast last week.
Correct.
So Mark filled in, did a great job, but it is so good to have you back. Thank you so much for being here. And
it's great to be back. My
Yes.
last 2 weeks have been really great. The week before last, I wasn't on the podcast because I was on vacation in Panama City Beach, Florida, with my wife. The first time we've been able to take a legitimate vacation that wasn't staying in a one-star hotel for $65 in Nashville since we've been on a honeymoon. So it was really great. I had a phenomenal time. Got tan. Got to get in on morning workouts, go to the beach. Really had a great time. And then this week has been special because on our way home from our vacation, we picked up two of our best friends in the whole world,
That's
Miriam
awesome.
and Ian Lake. And so they have been hanging out with us all week long, staying at our house. And so that's, man, I've had really so far 2 really incredible weeks. Another good week coming. I'll be in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at my in-laws' house. And while most people don't look forward, which you know all about living with your in-laws, but while most people may not look forward to hanging out with their in-laws, I do. I really, really enjoy my in-laws. One, they live on the beach, so that's always great. It's not like the water that you get in ever, but it's still nice to look at, and it's a nice area, and so I'm excited to be there with them. So I will still probably do the podcast this coming up week. I'll just do it from a distance this time.
Zoom you in.
But it's been good, dude. Things at the church have been fun. Life is getting a little bit lighter than it has been. I guess in the last couple of months, I've just enjoyed existence a little bit more.
Yeah.
Once again, getting to go and do things like the small things that you forget how great they are, like going to the gym, or I don't know, going out to eat at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Just little things like that have just been so much more enjoyable. And I've been going to sleep earlier at nighttime. I know that's random, but
sometimes it works.
I'm historically a night owl where I'll stay up
Yep.
until like 12 or 1, but not get up until like 9. But I've been going to bed like at 10:30 and getting up at like 6:30, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it actually. But like by like 5 o'clock, I'm dead. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm like, man, my day is completely over. Which it's fun though because I get more stuff done. So I don't know, but all that to say, it's been great.
I've always got this
couple of
goal
days.
to like be able to go to bed early. Like I like wake up at like 6 because of Milo, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed early tonight. And then like 9 o'clock comes around, I'm gonna stay up for a little bit longer, and then I keep staying up, and then it's like 2:30. You're like, I should probably go to bed.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
gonna feel like crap tomorrow.
Yeah, and like that's a repeating cycle every single day.
Oh yeah,
That
I
hasn't
get
been
that.
the cycle because I've been getting up early and I don't have that like kick it into second gear
Yeah.
thing. It's like when I'm done,
You checked
I'm
out.
done, bro.
Yeah.
I'm done. Sometimes I try to stay up late and do things, and it's like I just come to the realization that if I just go to bed, I'll get more done in 1 hour tomorrow than I'll be able to get done in these 3 hours where I feel like garbage.
Yeah.
So
Same. Yeah, I go to bed at 10 p.m. That is like my bedtime, and sometimes it's 10:30. But around 10, I go to bed and get up at 5:30. That's my everyday. That's 7.5 hours.
5:30 is.
You set an alarm, or does your body like automatically do that?
My body gets up. I usually get up about 5, but
My body just
5:05 is my alarm.
Yeah.
But I'll usually hit snooze, so 5:17 is around that time. I know I've got enough time to get my clothes on, get ready, and get to the
your
gym.
8-minute alarm on your iPhone. Yeah.
So I was like a little side story to that. I used to work at a restaurant, and it was my in-laws' family's restaurant, and it was the oldest restaurant in the state of Tennessee, and we'd have to get there at 2:30 in the morning, and it was like 2:30 to 2:30,
Why?
like 12 hours, like baking biscuits and making bacon and eggs and like preparing for the day and stuff. So
That's wild.
that
What life
like
is that,
I,
dude?
well, I know, and respect to
I
my
couldn't.
father-in-law because he did it for like 40 years. But so I started
I
doing
could
it,
not do it.
and it really threw off like your sleep schedule.
Yeah.
So I started studying like sleeping patterns, and so your body goes through an hour and a half increments of sleep. That's like the full cycle.
Okay.
So if you sleep 6 hours, that's like 2 full cycles,
Uh-huh.
4 full cycles. So like, I would sleep 6 hours, and then I would get distracted and like decide to sleep a little bit longer. And if I would sleep 7 hours, like on a Saturday, then my whole like equilibrium and stuff would be thrown off.
Huh.
Because
Yeah.
you got off the cycles.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then so like you're supposed to sleep 8 hours, but if you slept 7.5, you'd actually feel better because you go through like those REM sleeps of cycles.
Wow.
And then
So
if you
7.5 is a better amount of time to sleep.
yeah, or
than-
6. I think 6 is pretty productive. And then the fun part about it is
I
if
think
you do
6
the
is
math.
like hell.
So like it got me excited because if you do, they say you're supposed to sleep like 8 hours, but if you do 6 hours, then you get, if you do the math, it's like an extra 36 days that you're living per year by sleeping 2 hours less per
Jeez.
day. So like you get a full month's worth of life to experience by just sleeping 2 hours less per night.
Wow.
Yeah, and that kind of it's
That's very interesting.
Or you get a full month's
Yeah.
worth of sleep.
Or
I sleep
sleep
2
more.
extra hours, and I love sleep. So
Yeah.
hey.
I was
Wow.
like, I don't know if do I want to experience another month worth of life? Or am I,
Exactly.
like-
That could be good or bad,
That's a
depending
couple
on
of
your
dreams.
life.
we have to
I
ask
suppose.
ourselves that question now.
Yeah.
Right? Is it worth it
Is it? Because I
to
don't
have more
know.
life or
Yeah.
not?
I don't know.
try to manipulate the system.
That's a
Oh,
biblical
man.
concept that we're going to talk about at Overflow Church here in 2 weeks, actually. So we're not going to get into that right now. We will talk about it
That's
soon.
really cool, man. I never even thought about it like that. I'm glad you studied that. That's
Yeah.
very, that's something that's
Because
new
I'm like,
knowledge.
do I want to sleep more on the weekends or like I put myself to the test and I could go like 2 weeks of just 6 hours a night before I like completely crash, and then I got to get like 12.
Right.
But I mean that's just your body playing catch up.
I can't. I don't even want to do that.
I sleep till 7 on Saturday.
Yeah.
I go to bed a little later, but I sleep till 7. Go to the gym.
That's kind of how vacation was for us, though. We decided like we were not going to sleep away. Me and Sam we're the worst, dude. Like when it comes to sleeping, I didn't. Sometimes people marry other people who like. One person in the relationship is like an early morning person.
Yep.
The other person is like, with me and Sam, we just both love sleeping. We love it. And so if we don't get up, we will sleep. It doesn't matter if we go to bed at 10:30 at night. We'll sleep until 11 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, but we like decided on vacation we were not going to miss out on our vacation. So we were up by like 7:30 every single day on our vacation.
That's awesome.
And it was sincerely awesome. Plus, when you're 27 and she's 25 and you pastor a church, there's way less things to do in Panama City Beach. You know what I'm saying? When you're 16
Yeah,
or 18
yeah.
or 21 or whatever,
Yeah.
there tends to be a lot more things to do, and all of those things happen at nighttime. But Club La Vila is shut down now,
It
so
is
none
shut
of those
down.
things are a thing anymore.
Yeah.
For us. So going to bed at 10:30, you don't feel like you're missing anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for like a fun time at the 7-Eleven across the street with all the.
Hey,
Or
dude, those Slurpees
go-karts.
are legitimate.
They are, and they have like good little hot dogs there and stuff.
Yep.
But
Or the go-karts. There's
I don't
always
know, we didn't
go-karts.
go. We didn't do go-karts this time. We did jet skis, but we didn't.
That's
we
fun.
didn't do-
That is
we're
fun.
grown-ups.
We did that as well.
Kidding me?
I did go-karts as well.
Hit me with some headlines, dude.
Oh, my person's my favorite. So Washington Redskins, we all know there's been a national cry for them to change their name for a long time.
Yeah.
So they finally decided to. Now, they haven't created a name yet.
Right.
I don't know how long that takes. I'm sure I could think of something in a few
Yeah.
weeks. So pending the new name, they're going to call themselves the Washington Football Team.
Awesome.
So
Solid. Where do they play?
Who? Right. I wonder where they're located.
so the Washington Football Team, they've already unveiled some like apparel or something. Some of the players, like Dwayne Haskins, who's the quarterback there, like they've already like unveiled some stuff. But their website name is redskins.com. Now, will they change it to footballteam.com? I thought about that. I was like, I should buy that domain name just in case.
That's hilarious.
Because-
And then they can pay you for it.
yeah, pay me $1 million, I'll
Right.
give it to you. So Zaxby's took a shot at them on Twitter. I love like fast food chain Twitter accounts
Yes,
because
yes. Wendy's set the
yeah,
ball.
because they did. Wendy's did, but like they poked fun a little bit and they said, "Hey, we changed our name and our logo. And it just says Chicken Restaurant." I thought that was great, Chicken Restaurant. So Zaxby's had a little fun with it, as is the entire country, because everybody was like, you've had so many weeks to think of something, and you come up with
The Washington
football team. Like, there's no more, not a more generic name that you could think of than that.
And we have more creative people than that.
Yeah.
On this world.
Yes, you could have. It could have been used a plethora more
Right.
names.
I heard
my favorite word
in the same conversation, which the Babylon Bee. That's one of my favorite satire sites to follow. It's all just sarcasm about everything. And in the same vein, they wrote this article that was saying. Chick-fil-A was changing their name to be more gender neutral, and they changed their name to They-fil-A.
They-fil-A. Oh, that's so good.
So I don't know. I'm for it. I actually think that changing the Washington Redskins is a good idea. I mean, I'll jump on that bandwagon and say, Lord, we murdered millions, at least hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Indians and stole their land and didn't give them anything they deserved. And so naming a football team after them seems a little ironic, if you ask me.
And they were the Redskins.
Right. And it's literally specifically after the color of their skin. So it seems a bit...
The logo's an Indian.
It seems pretty intense. So I'm not opposed to changing it. I'm wondering what it is that's going to be their new thing now, because it's like the baseball team is like the Washington Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. Yeah. That's pretty lame too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Nationals. I don't know.
It is. It's not the best name.
The Washington DCs.
The Districts of Columbians.
I don't know.
The Washington Columbians. There you go.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Once again.
Hold on, let's buy that real fast.
The Washington Escobars. I don't know. We could.
Wow.
We could name on that. So, but Washington football team was probably the worst solution, even a temporary solution.
Right.
You could.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
You could do better than that. Now the second headline is this: we all know Kanye's been in the news a lot. He announced he was going to run for president. Obviously, he had waited too late to do that, to file all the proper paperwork.
Yes.
But I love Kanye. I love his heart. I love the fact that he also has mental health issues. He's been very open about that, and he has a breakdown, which his wife even come to his aid on social media, talking about he's bipolar. Obviously, there's issues with that. But everybody's been on him pretty hard.
Been on him
slamming him,
man. It's been blowing my mind, actually, because I don't know, man. And we were having this conversation before this started. Of course, he's taken heat for coming out, proclaiming Christianity and coming out with a very, very Jesus-centered album recently and all that stuff, which is phenomenal. First of all, it's a super cool thing, but the amount of people sharing this stuff and even just making fun of it, it's just so, I want to say it's surprising. I guess it's not that surprising, but I don't know, man. My thought is if that was your brother or your friend who you knew, who openly had talked about being diagnosed as bipolar, having mental health problems, has been in a facility before, there's no way we would be sharing stuff like this and making fun of them. We would be hoping that they would get help. We would be wanting to do whatever we could to help. We'd be a little bit more understanding, but because it's Kanye and he's famous, it's this is now an opportunity.
People hold him to a higher standard,
right?
Instead of understanding the vulnerability behind what it means and the actual weakness, and it's not a personal choice to be bipolar. It's something that he actually struggles with.
Problem,
so if they acknowledge it for what it actually is, and not just trying to hold somebody to a higher standard because they have more people looking at them.
Right. And, oh gosh, it's
because it sets the standard too.
Think of what people would say about us if they saw every moment of our lives we do. People that are quote unquote famous.
Yeah.
They're people just
for sure.
We are. They just have cameras on them a lot more. And I would hate to see what people would say about me if they got to see every single moment of my life, because I try to be super vulnerable and sometimes more open and transparent probably than I even need to be as a pastor, but it's I don't videotape every moment of my life.
Yeah.
But gosh, as a famous person, that's what happens, and I just don't want to be the guy who is out there just so quickly ready to throw someone under the bus.
Yeah, and I think so I video majority of my life, and I can
Right.
of course pick and choose what I decide to put out there, and I edit and I
Right.
can manipulate things, and I have that power to do
To look
this
a certain way.
Yeah, to do stuff. But I think the part that like really motivates me and that I want to like really portray is that we all have these vulnerabilities and weaknesses and struggles,
Right.
and that we're all, for the most part, relatable. Like we all have our
Right.
goods and our bads, and
Right.
if we edit these and hold people to different standards, like they're like an iconic figure and they have all these good things and perfects, then it makes me feel like I have something wrong with me because I can't,
Right.
like I don't.
You don't
portray all
measure
this-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't measure up. And
So like people acknowledging Kanye that there's something wrong with him because he has these mental disabilities, it's just kind of like, it's like, what are we doing for the future generation to
Right.
like compare each other to?
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we do. Like, we also have
We have a little guy looking in our window right now. Shout out to
Jackson. So, the biggest thing is it also makes you afraid to share about yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, we know that. Like, this whole podcast has been like highlights some of those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, if I share something about an opinion I have or a way I feel about something, how are people going to react to that?
Yeah.
You know, what's going to come down, what's going to come at me because I shared this about myself. So, especially being pastors in a church, like, there's a lot more
Sure.
heat to come your
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
when people
Yep.
find out you feel a certain way. And obviously we felt that and experienced that. So, doing that to other people just makes other people less likely to be
Absolutely.
transparent
It makes
and
us all
honest.
fake.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think and it's actually a video that I want to make about this whole situation is putting yourself out there to be vulnerable because of the good things that could possibly happen
absolutely.
from that. Like you
Mhm.
figure back when you were
Absolutely.
younger, you'd put yourself in a situation to be like rejected by a girl
Mhm.
because there might be a greater outcome to that. And like for me, the only reason we met is because I was driving around local businesses and I had been meaning to stop by here. And I walked in and I'm like, I don't know how that conversation could have went. But I
Right.
walked in and I was like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. If you guys be interested, and so on and so forth. And that me making myself vulnerable opened up that opportunity to us like have this relationship and
Yeah,
future connections.
absolutely.
And met
Right,
you and
right.
now we're here. But like instead of being scared of what could possibly come out of these things and not putting yourself out there, like just think back to your high school days and like what you're willing to
Absolutely,
try.
dude.
And
Absolutely.
like trying all these different opportunities and not being scared of the negative that's going to come with it.
Or hey, think back of what you weren't willing to try, what
Yeah.
you missed out on.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I feel like most people don't ever even step into that, taking chances, taking risks until they're like in college or
Yeah.
after college. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
it's
because
much
in high
later.
School, you're trying to like fit in, and
Fit
trying to be
in,
cool, and so you
and not be
you
made
live
fun
a
of.
super boring life, and you only wear Ralph Lauren polos and you wear your hair a certain way, and you wear ugly
Yeah.
shoes, and
Yeah.
what do? You watch ESPN and talk about girls and I don't know. You just do lame stuff. High schoolers are lame. Like the more high schoolers I meet, the more I'm like, wow, high schoolers are lame. Honestly,
Yeah.
because it's not until you get into college where you're starting to actually figure out like, what do I like?
You like
Yeah.
this person,
Who
don't
am
like
I?
this person.
I don't actually like this person. What do I believe? What do I not believe? All
Yeah.
Who
high
am
schoolers
I?
are like so the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone likes the same music. Everyone watches the same shows. Everyone dresses the same way. And Lord, if you don't, you are excommunicated.
And then when you're in high school, you think you're very different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
never
yeah.
portray that difference. Like
Never.
you never
It's just in here.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know. That's why. Oh, being a youth pastor was so tough because it was that all the time.
Yep.
But
That's good.
so I don't know.
So, stop it, segment. Stop it, segment. I've struggled today with my words.
That's okay.
I was struggling at the gym today. I was trying to say something and I couldn't.
That's always like a humbling experience.
It is, and I struggle with speaking sometimes.
I
Words
misquoted
just-
John 3:16 2 weeks ago, Josh. Don't tell me anything. All right.
Stop it, segment.
What are we stopping?
It's gonna be good today, and it's gonna be relevant because we're all experiencing it on a day-to-day
Yes,
basis.
we are.
Stop arguing about whether or not to wear a mask.
Please, please,
Yep.
please, please. Just stop arguing about it.
Just stop.
That's the thing. I'm not
arguing.
even saying you should wear your mask. You shouldn't wear your mask. I'm not coming out and making any political, as if that's a political statement.
It
How
is
weird
now.
that? It is now.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
not coming
But
out
it
and
all
making
is
any
now.
statement. I am just simply riding Josh's coattail and saying, stop talking about it. It doesn't doesn't matter.
Yeah, like we all know what we
If-
should and shouldn't do.
If someone's
and,
going to wear their mask, then they're going to wear it.
yeah.
And if someone's not going to wear a mask, they're not going to wear it. They're going to be like the guy I saw at Walmart 2-3 days ago that wears the same. I heard him oversay this in conversation. He was wearing a white T-shirt that on the back of it says "Be the Resistance," and then it has the word "masks" and it's marked out. And I heard him tell someone that he wears the same shirt every time he goes into a Walmart or something like that,
Public
where there's
place.
gonna be a lot of people. And it's a homemade shirt. It's with Sharpie. It's not like he didn't go and have it like made professionally.
Welcome to the South.
It's a Sharpie, and it's like he's against the Clinton administration, and he's against COVID-19. He's against these new vaccines.
Is there a Clinton administration?
I don't know, but he's against it. By God, if it exists somewhere, he's over it.
I saw a shirt. It's legit.
And he wears this shirt all the time to just encourage people to be the resistance. And I'm just like, God, you only look so dumb doing that. You know what I'm saying? Who in Walmart's going to see that and be like, so true?
And it's funny you even
what a
said
powerful concept.
it's funny you said Walmart because Mark said last week he said Walmart where people wear masks, not real clothes.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a true
Maybe
statement.
as we continue to wear a mask in Walmart, we could also wear things like jeans instead of pajamas, or
Yep.
shirts instead of bras, or shoes.
that you bought on Let Go.
Or
Come
pants,
on.
Oh,
I don't,
jeez.
man, just clothes that fit you in general.
That
or,
need to be worn in
or
public.
makeup, or I don't
Yeah.
know, just anything
Yep.
besides what I see right now.
A head of washed hair.
Washed hair,
You
washed
see some
bodies.
crazy hair at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like we always joke about the clothes and like what people are wearing, but if you see these people's like hairstyles,
Dude.
Yeah, it's like
It's-
they went.
it's a whole new
That was
thing.
insane. It's like
Yeah.
bowl cuts. I'm like, I didn't even know people actually had legitimate bowl cuts with
Oh,
highlights.
man.
I don't know. I'm like, did you pay for those highlights? Because
Oh man,
you
no,
paid for
they did
$30
not.
worth of
They bought
highlights.
that color at Walmart.
Absolutely, you're right. They got splat put in their hair. Now it's not going to come out for 3 weeks. And
Yeah.
it's gonna,
Splat.
It's going to look orange.
They
the
bought
next day.
Splat.
That's exactly what they bought. That's the name of
so
it.
funny.
It's horrible.
It
So,
is because
it's funny,
Zion
like-
has some whatever that Walmart
Uh-huh.
brand is, and it's so bad.
Yeah,
it won't.
it's
I have
so
to
bad.
put 10 pounds of it on his hair to make it stick up. We have a crazy hair day at daycare or whatever. So he wants to give the
Is
twist.
it the yellow one? The
Yes.
yellow packaging?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
the glue.
Oh, it's got to
Yeah,
be
it's not-
glued.
Yeah, it's got to be glued.
It's gotta-
That's exactly
it
it.
gotta be
Got-
glued.
Go back to
got-
7th grade.
got to be glued.
I used to have a mohawk,
Yeah.
and that's what I used.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
exactly
be
it.
glued. Oh, that's so funny. So
So-
yes, stop arguing. We literally yesterday I sat with Mark and a couple of guys during lunch, and we watched. Or at 3:00, I went to place an order for some pens,
Right.
and that we watched the Governor Lee's press conference. And every time he does a press conference on Facebook, the comments, literally the most insane thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Bro, you're on Facebook Live watching this thing. That's like
Yeah, exactly.
The fact it's on Facebook means it's going to be more violent
Yeah.
than anything else.
So we started inserting little funny lines, this guy Alex that works with Mark. He actually posted stuff like, "Anybody here deer hunt?" It was just random things like that. They were just really funny. But people, this one lady, I forgot her name. I don't know how I forgot her name, but she literally posted, "No mask," all caps, 5 exclamation points. Every time she posted, that's all she would say. "No mask," bruh, angry face. "No mask," angry face. Just blah 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 blah. So I get people don't want to wear a mask. We had Dr. Aaron and his mom and Dr. Karen Davison on last week talking about COVID-19, and they basically said, "Hey, we don't wear masks around our family or
Right.
our friends," but he said, "If I'm out somewhere and I don't know who I'm going to be around, I don't know their health status, I'll wear a mask just to be considerate."
Right.
And that was good to hear, but he's I wouldn't mandate it anywhere, but
Right.
just having common courtesy
Sure.
and
Yeah.
being nice to people, that's what I do. So coming from a doctor, I was like, well, that's good. It's very, but we have this paranoia of the government, they call it overreach.
I'm sorry, but wearing a mask is not. It's not the government infringing.
Do we have speed limit signs?
Right. Exactly.
Don't speed.
Wear your
just
seatbelt.
Wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, there's just things you need to do.
To be safe.
Yeah.
Do we always do those things? No.
No.
Like, I get caught speeding quite a bit, actually.
But Lord, if
Had
someone
court yesterday.
decided to post on, I actually had a friend recently who was posting on Facebook about how irritated he was at speed limits. As weird as it is, you're saying this, and I'm thinking back, and everybody in his comment section was like, "This is the stupidest, thing I've ever seen anyone post about." Who cares about speed limits?
Thank
Oh,
you
like-
for taking the time to write this out.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Shut up!" And so that's kind of just what we're saying right now too. Is like,
Shut
either
up.
wear your mask, don't wear your mask, but just stop complaining about it. Like,
Yeah.
God, it's so
man.
irritating. Like,
Drama.
if you don't want to wear your
let
mask
it
at Walmart,
go.
don't go to Walmart. Go
Yeah.
somewhere else. Go shop at E.W. James or some local grocery store that.
Yeah, go
Like
save a lot. You can go anywhere. Just don't go to Walmart.
Sure. Or stay at home. Order Uber Eats. I don't know.
Well, there's no Uber Eats in West
Oh,
Tennessee
don't- yeah,
unless you
that's
live
true.
here.
For our people in Canada, order Uber Eats. But I don't know, man. Just like chill out. Get over it. Just
Yeah.
stop. So stop complaining about your mask.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
Or
Yeah.
just please,
Get
just
you a
please
cool
stop.
mask, one that matches your clothes.
Dude, I
Make it
saw
a
some the
fashion
other day.
statement.
It was this company. It was like mask my face, and they like take a picture of your face and print off the lower part of your face
Shut
on the mask,
up.
and
That
it like
is
matches your
awesome.
nose, and like it has like lips and like wrinkles and like the whole 9 yards.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was
Get
like,
you a-
finally somebody
get you one
something
of
like super
those.
creative with this stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of. I mean, you can buy a mask almost from every brand right now.
Oh, yeah.
Every team.
Oh, yeah.
Every,
Mhm.
anything you can think
ingenuity.
of.
That's what America's
Yeah.
all about, dude. You kidding me?
Now
Capitalism,
it's
baby.
capitalism.
Yeah.
We're on it. We're gonna make some money now.
I went to Walmart the other day. They were selling Hanes masks.
Yeah.
Hanes.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you'd have told me in 2019 that Hanes was going to start selling face masks, would you even
You have a
believe
little
that?
slit right here, like on the side.
I was like, I looked at it, I was like, should I buy some or not? But I'm like, this is the same
Just
like
in case you
underwear.
need a breathing hole.
It's got the little slit. Like it's got on the front. You just lift it up.
It's like now your mask can match your underwear. How amazing! Like you have tidy whities on your face, you know, on both set of cheeks. Okay, we're getting weird. Sorry.
That's good.
We're
So
getting weird
today-
now.
We're that creative, but we still have like Washington football.
Washington football team.
Right.
They didn't consult anybody. Like they kept it inside. And
It's like,
John,
John, give me a
dude.
name. Give me a name, John.
They should have fired everybody on
Coin
like,
toss or something. I mean, you
Yes.
could have come up with anything.
Yeah.
a
Washington
coin toss,
the
kind of like a
Ws.
football game. Like you coin toss.
the Washington W's. You know what I'm saying? The presidents. I don't know anything. But
Yeah, that's
gosh.
funny. So we have Caleb Nelson on today. Like I said earlier, Caleb is I call him a storyteller. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And he does it in video form. Your stuff's great. I mean, I'll be honest.
Thank you,
I
thank
love watching it. And one of the most enamoring things, the video that you sent me first was the one where you and your wife travel the country.
Yes.
The whole story of you quitting your jobs, selling your home, and traveling the country. Like, that is an amazing story. And you can just share kind of what you want about it, maybe even where the idea come from, why you did
It was
that.
actually my wife's idea.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, people think it might be like my idea because I'm the more like dreamy guy.
Right.
And she's a lot more like level-headed and mature
Uh-huh.
than I am. But it was actually her idea. And I actually remember sitting in our living room couch, and we were both like 22 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like, we're a year and a half into our marriage, a year and a half into our house. And we were just kind of like, I was really unhappy with my job because I was like, there's a fine line between like working to live and living to work.
Yeah, man.
And I grew up with not having a whole lot and not having like disposable income and like questioning when the next groceries are going to come. So I never wanted that for like my family.
Right.
So I got this job that I moved up for very quickly, and
Sure.
I was making good money, and my wife was making good money, and we were like living the American dream.
Sure.
And I was working 55, 60 hours a week, and I was like, where the conversation of kids came up, and it's like, are we ready to have kids? Is this the kind of life that we want to have? And I was like, if I leave the house at 6 and get home at 8, like now Miley goes to bed at 8.
Right.
I'm like, I wouldn't be there for my son. I might get
Yeah.
a day off or 2 days off during the week. I'm like, that's not how I want to trade out my time for my life. So then we decided to kind of like restart, and because of where we were at financially, I couldn't just like jump into another job making the same amount of money, because that's just, it's not the easiest thing to do. And so we decided to kind of like completely restart. So we sold all of our things in our house. We sold our cars. We sold
Jeez.
our house. She quit her job. I quit my job. And we used all the money that we saved from selling the stuff, and then from the money we made off our house to actually fund the trip. And so the original idea was to do like 6 months abroad and to like travel the country, just like, or travel the world, just like what most people want to do. And I was like, dude, like I've never been to Memphis, and Memphis is like 3 hours down the road. I was like, how can I say I've gone to like 20 other countries if I haven't gone to, at the time, her and I both collectively had traveled to like 12 states. I was like, I haven't even seen my own backyard.
Right.
So the original goal was to do 49 states in 52 weeks, and so basically like a week per state. And we ended up doing 10 months, 44 states, and 45,000 miles.
Wow.
And we, it wasn't like super costly, like it wasn't very expensive to do because we actually converted our Toyota AFJ Cruiser into like a mobile camper.
Sure.
So we had like a pantry in the back and a fridge, and like we had a roof on the top. So we had a ladder you climb up and sleep on the top. It's wicked cool.
Epic.
Yeah. And then we just spent time driving around the country, and the only states we didn't hit was Hawaii and Alaska, which Alaska is like the only one state I really wanted to go to. And then we didn't do South Dakota or North Dakota. And then I've been to Wisconsin and Minnesota, but she hasn't, and we didn't do that on the trip. So I've been to 46 states, and she's been to the 44.
Gotcha.
And within doing all of that, I just started to document the whole trip. And I just kind of like fell in love with doing that and telling the stories and sharing. And a big reason behind that is, I think I told you this story, but I got into video and we did this trip because my grandparents lived the American dream.
Right.
And they were doing the day-to-day life, and they were waiting for retirement. And then they were retired for 1 year together, or 11 months. And then my grandmother randomly passed away.
Jeez.
So that one of the trips that they went on was to the Grand Canyon. And my grandfather's got this video on his phone of some like lady trying to take a picture, but she actually hit the record button. So it's like this corrugated film of like her trying to take the picture. Right. And you hear my grandmother's laugh, and you hear kind of like she says it's okay, like because the lady was struggling. And my grandfather like really, really cherishes that video.
Wow.
And that changed the whole like perspective of me of like, we have all these abilities to document stuff so simply, but we don't.
Right.
So I just started to like, let me get a $800 camera, and I've got my phone, and let me just start documenting more. That way, like, God forbid something ever happened to me or to my wife,
you have plenty to pass
or
down.
to Milo. Like, I make these videos really for Milo and for my wife, like, and also for myself. That way, if something happens to me, like, he knows how I sound, he knows how I walked, how I laughed.
Cool, man.
He knows like the mannerisms of how I talk and the gestures that I do. Because I mean, it would be awesome if I had that footage of my parents, like when they were 22, 23, 24. Really cool. So you'd like understand what they were and who they went through. And like, it's also to be as relatable as possible, because being a young guy, like in your 20s, you have a very higher likelihood of like suicide and stuff. So like understanding that we all have these issues and these problems, and like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm trying to figure out what makes me happy, and that I've got the responsibilities to like share these struggles with people is the big reason why I document it.
Yeah, that's good.
And then of course you got to play the game of like getting people to watch it. So.
Absolutely. We know all about that.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
It's an interesting game to play.
I document the school bus. Just so I can like have more of a platform to like share these little stories here and there.
Tell us about school bus.
So we're in the process of converting a 35-foot long international school bus into a little tiny home.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a huge project. But the idea behind that was because I am starting off making videos for people. Like my income is very like fluctuating, and instead of having to worry about a $1,500 mortgage again and like making a certain threshold each month,
right?
Like this way I can, if I only make $800, like $800 covers everything that I need for the month. So it's a way for us to live a lot more realistic and attainable.
Sure.
Because I mean, like minimalism is a cool, trendy thing, but I like having a lot of space. Like I really liked my house, and I'd love to have another one, but I want to be responsible and like understanding I've got to build this name and build this reputation. So the school bus is the way to have a home, have my bills covered, and still be able to do what I want to do. So I'm willing to give up the remaining 1,300 square feet. So instead of being a 1,500 square foot house, we've got 200 square feet. And it's everything that we need. I mean, we've got a bathroom and a shower and a sink and a huge fridge and 6 places for people to sleep, and TV and Wi-Fi, and
that's awesome, dude.
Unlimited power.
Right. It feels like our little apartment we're living in right now, too.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't even, like, I wish I could be more like that.
Right.
Like, because I'm not all the time. Like, I love my house. Like, I love where I live. I love my well, I don't have a neighborhood. I have 3 houses.
Yeah.
But I live in a cove. But I guess that's why I love my neighborhood. I don't have neighbors. But
You just go park a bus in the woods.
yeah, I love that concept. Now, I've tried to talk my wife into doing a shipping container home.
Yeah.
Because I think they're so cool.
There's literally no way that Miss Alicia Croft.
No, I know.
Shipping container
But the
home.
inside
There's
is
just no
like
way.
when you put like 6 of them together,
They're big.
massive
Yeah.
and they're so
Yeah.
cool. But she's like,
Mm-mm.
I think like the neat part about that stuff is and I don't like I hate the word hippie because it just like it feels like a negative connotation.
Sure.
And it kind of comes off as like dirty, but it's like very trendy and to like be able to reuse stuff and like repurpose stuff is really neat actually.
Yeah, it
and
is.
like
It is.
having my son now, I never thought like like when you have a kid it changes you, but I never thought like one of the things that would change about me is like how much I care about the environment now.
right.
And like not wanting to leave him with a gross place. And it's like instead of just throwing stuff away that you like, if you have cabinets, instead of just like burning them, like give them to somebody else or clothes and stuff. Like everything's so disposable now, and it's cheaper to throw it away and go buy new than to actually like take the time to
I
go
know.
hand it to somebody.
I know.
But yeah, that's one thing that I never thought I'd be interested in was like the reuse of everything.
That's been more on my heart and my mind the last few years, just because I see like the trash and
Yeah.
you go to bigger cities, you see how dirty and nasty and filthy they are,
And how much work it is to maintain that. Like if we
Right.
just
then you
use
see
less of
videos
it.
of people dumping trash in the ocean, and you see people just abusing the planet. Now I'm not huge on that side because I still struggle. I still waste.
Oh yeah,
I
me
mean,
too
I
for
still
sure.
have-
Yeah, I
like-
don't. Actually, I've been, I live in like
We got one fork and one spoon and one plate.
I live in like kind
I'm
of like a
actually
public
perfect.
parking lot. Like we live in like a loft style apartment, so we have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
public. So sometimes, like I find used masks out there. Instead of buying new ones, I'll use those.
Just
That is
Lysol.
not true. That is not true.
I'm
None
like,
of
wait
that
a
is
second,
true.
I don't know this guy that well.
I'm
That-
so environmentally friendly. I mean, what can I say?
I wish I was more like
I'm-
that.
yeah, I'm
and there's
not.
parts of me that's lazy, and I'd rather just throw stuff away
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not deal with it. I watched the movie Minimalism.
It's a great documentary.
It is, and I'm so proud that I said that word without any problem. Like today has not been my day, and that word's a tough one.
Amazing.
Minimalism. So good. I'll say it again.
Is that
So-
the one where it sparks joy? Does this spark joy?
No, that's Marie Kondo.
Oh, okay, never
yeah,
mind.
yeah. But it's the same
It's the
concept.
same, yeah.
After I watched that, I got rid of all my clothes. I got down to literally, this has been a few years ago, several years ago. I got down to like 6 shirts,
Wow.
3 pairs of pants, a
Mhm.
couple pairs of shorts, underwear, socks. That was it. That's all I had.
Epic.
I wore the same thing all the time.
One
Well,
pair
like-
of underwear.
No,
Pair of socks.
Just flip them inside out, front back, outside.
which is not my mask.
Hashtag hands.
So, but it was pretty freeing, I'll have to admit.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But then over time, I'd go buy stuff, and I just kept filling my closet up. And now, like, I went through my closet the other day. I went there and got a bag. I just threw a bunch of crap in there that I didn't want to look at anymore.
Same
And I
thing,
put it
dude.
up in my attic.
Well, it's
That's
so
what I
easy to
did.
do because I mean, like, just like when you buy something, it just physically makes you feel successful.
Yeah, dude.
Like I can afford.
And I am
this.
a impulse buyer.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've had a bad day. I'll buy a T-shirt. I'll buy a
Yep.
pair of shoes.
Yep.
I'll buy this. I am so impulsive.
Yes.
Like, it's a problem.
No, yeah, I mean, majority of people are, and I am to a certain degree as well. Just it also is easier when you have less money.
Right, right.
But the one thing like that I really thought was interesting about the whole minimalism thing is they talk about your favorite stuff. And one of the analogies they gave in this documentary was this lady was like, I have all these books and I really like my books. I don't want to get rid of them, but you guys talk about having less. He's like, no, like that's the problem. Like people kind of get confused with minimalism. It's not about just having less. It's about having things that you actually appreciate.
Right. That's
Like for me,
cool.
I had 8 pairs of pants in my closet, like when we had our house. And I was like, dude, I only wore 2. I
Right.
wore
Same.
one
And that
pair
is
of
so
jeans.
true.
Yeah, like I wore one pair of jeans because they're my favorite jeans from Lucky Brand or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I wore a pair of Dickies when I worked in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the rest of this, like I might wear this later, and then like 3 years later, and you've like never worn these blue
Never worn
slacks.
them.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it just takes up space, and then you're like, well, I might need this later, and understanding like your actual habits and what you actually use versus what you think you use. Because
Right.
that's what people get confused is like, I might use this later. And the only thing about all the stuff that I've gotten rid of that I might use later that I keep is tools.
Right.
Because
Right.
tools is like, you're probably going to need that at some point.
Yeah, and you would for sure, like
Yeah.
all the stuff you do. For me personally, I don't have a lot of tools, and I've lost most of them. I've lost most of all of my tools.
Same. I don't,
Like
I don't
super
have,
OCD
I don't
about
have
my
tons
tools.
of tools, but my golly, I know where my drill
Yeah.
is, and
got a
I
hammer.
know where my two little
Yeah.
drill bits are. The Phillips head and
Yep.
the
The flathead.
There's another one. There's the flathead. Don't even know what it's called. I know where my hammer is. I know where
But
my
like,
tape measure is.
and the other side of that is like for you, like it might be an example, but like pens and paper.
Sure.
Like I'm sure you have like a favorite pen.
I do.
That
I
you
do.
don't ever want to get rid of.
I have
and-
specific pens and even specific paper.
Yeah.
That I use.
So like, and that's
yeah.
just something that you might use it later that you're not going to get rid
Yeah,
of. And
right.
if it actually like is purposeful and it actually brings you joy, then like that's the point of it. But it's
Right.
all these things that you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, I just needed to be free from the closet. Like, and like right now, I don't know how many pair of shoes I have. Like, I don't. Like, it looks like a hoarding closet. I had to like move stuff around. I've never been able to shut my closet door. Like, it has never been. That's never been a thing. But like,
Epic.
they were so far out on the floor. Like, my wife tripped over a pair the other day. She was so mad. I mean, I felt
That's one
that
thing I
happens
wish I
every
was
once in a while in our house. But
I wish I would like up my shoe game because I think some shoes are like super fresh.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
But see, I don't need that many.
No, I mean because you only got 2 feet.
Right.
Right.
I have tubs of shoes.
Wow.
I'm never going to wear again.
I wish I wore your shoe size. I don't. I say it all the time. I'm like, man, he's got all these extra shoes and he talks about it, but
And I would get rid of them.
we don't wear the
like,
same shoe size.
I have shoes I've customized, shoes I've like, but I'm never going to wear them.
Yeah.
I'm over them now.
It's like a wonder downer. It's like wedding stuff. Like you have like wedding champagne glasses and you use them like once and like, but you decide to keep them for the next 50 years because it's
Disney could make a movie called Shoe Story. like Toy Story. Those toys that never got played with anymore. Like
the shoes that never got worn.
yeah, like they're always walking around.
Shoe
like,
Story.
Disney shorts and shorts. tips.
I just need Tom Hanks. He could be like my main pair of shoes that I don't wear anymore.
That's awesome.
Buddy. That's what it could be. But yeah, I struggle with just having too much crap.
Absolutely.
And I try to sell stuff to go buy more stuff. That's
Mhm.
what I do. Like I will literally sell something to go buy something else.
I mean, that's a better way of doing it too versus just buying more stuff.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, as long as you like maintain what you have and you don't keep getting more and more and more,
Right.
then you look like a hoarder, and that's just
Yeah. I do that because I feel bad. Like, because I know my wife's thinking like, God, you buy so much crap. And it's like, I sold some stuff though. Like,
Uh-huh.
there you go, win-win.
I'm not a jerk. I'm really a good guy.
Right, right.
I'm not so selfish. It helps me like feel better about myself when I get rid
Yeah, I
of
usually
stuff.
just give all my stuff to the poor. I mean, I'm not trying to like hype myself up or anything. I'm just kidding.
But
I don't normally
I
give
give
all my
everything
stuff
over
to
the
the poor.
poor.
That's a joke.
Tax deductions for the Goodwill donations.
No, I've never even. I don't think I've.
Tax
No, I mean
deduction.
I've given to Goodwill and We Care. I don't think I've ever like documented it.
Yeah.
I just go
This
late
pair
at
of
night
Nikes
and
was
toss
like
it in the bin. And it's
$27.
like drop off.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing. Like, I want to do. There was this idea I had about my shoes where I wanted to. I was gonna go on social media and put, give a certain pair away and say, hey, like these shoes are gonna be at this location in McKenzie. Like, I'll put them in a certain spot, and somebody can just go grab them.
Well, they do that with like rocks. People like I guess
yeah.
people
I know
like
what you're talking about.
paint rocks and stuff, and then like hide them in places. So that'd be a really neat idea. Like you can wear them for this Tuesday and then drop them off somewhere else, and like these shoes get recirculated.
Dude, ain't no way I'm wearing recirculated shoes. I'll just be honest with you. There's no way.
I've done
I don't
it.
know
Like,
what
these
feet
are
have been-
used.
I'm gonna get athlete's foot or something.
No, you won't. I
it's like a-
promise.
Get a wart. I'm good.
Like these right here, they're used. Like
no, man, one pair of used shoes, but if they're circulating every day, every week,
It is kind of a gross
I'm
idea.
Like, no, I don't
Yeah,
know where
yeah.
those things have been. I'm gonna bring ice into my house or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
yeah, that's true.
No
yeah,
way.
that many
Cool
feet.
idea.
That's
Let's
a
get
lot
some
of
more
weight.
workout.
But I wanted to give them away that way
Right.
instead of like just carrying them to a
Totally.
Goodwill store or something.
Yeah.
Like just do something like random with it. But that takes a lot of time and like energy to plan out, and that's something I've done yet, so it hasn't happened. But there's also in my closet, so there's still hope for that to happen at some point. But yeah, I'm not I wish I could be more minimal.
You can
in
call
what
it
I go.
Tuesday Shoes Day. And
Oh, wow.
every Tuesday
Yes.
you could put a pair of shoes somewhere in the city of McKenzie in a box that's like free. It just says free on it or something, and you just post it, and every Tuesday people are waiting to see.
If the box would need to look the same.
Yeah, every time.
That'd be the identifier.
The same
you
box.
drive by and you see and you go, oh my God, there's the shoes.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, Tuesday. People are looking for Josh's shoes every single Tuesday.
It'd be really interesting if like that really caught on, and then like 2 months later you see like 15 kids running around trying to find these shoes.
Dude, wouldn't that be awesome? Or if it became a national phenomenon where people started.
Well, I mean, they were doing those
every
teddy
Tuesday
bears.
became Tuesday, Shoes Day.
Tuesday, Shoes Day. That is, Shoes Day is like my favorite new word. Shoes Day.
And all over the nation, people are just putting out free shoes for everybody to have.
That'd be great.
I am down.
I think that's actually a really solid idea.
Let's do it, dude. Tuesday, Shoes
Tuesday,
Day.
Shoes Day.
Tuesday,
Well, the
Shoes
box
Day.
thing will have to be creative. Like it'll have to look the same. It needs to be
Something
wrapped
unique,
the
like
same
an
way.
Amazon bags.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs to be something that people can identify.
Zebra print.
If they drive by it, or we can just write Tuesday, Shoes Day.
Tuesday,
on the top.
Shoes Day on
What are those?
brown wrapping paper.
We'd have to hide it at like night,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
people couldn't see you out like doing
Totally. Unless you're the guy that tried to break into our church the other day. Then you'll see us at nighttime.
Yeah,
Scoundrel.
that's so funny.
Trying to get into the back of our church. Shout out to Michael Champion. Chased him away.
it. Yep, we fought him.
He didn't fight him.
I tried to text him like that. Michael caught someone at our back door, like trying to get in, but my phone typed in "fought" instead of "caught."
And so all I read was Michael Champion fought someone trying to get in our church. And I was like, is he okay? Like, what happened?
I'm so sorry.
Some
It's
of those
not-
typers are like the best placements ever.
He fought somebody. I'm like,
So I
dude.
said, I need you
Did
to
he win?
disregard,
Yeah, right.
disregard everything in that text, like, especially the word "fought," because he did not fight anyone. He caught someone.
Right,
He didn't really catch them. He just saw them.
right. And he took off
So
running.
and they took off
Right.
running. So we're gonna do that Tuesday, Shoes Day. That'll be a thing. We're gonna make that happen.
I'm down. I want to be a part of it. You gotta
You-
figure out what shoes I'm giving away. I know
I'm
what shoes
gonna have to buy shoes to give away shoes.
Right.
So what's your plan moving forward, Caleb? What's your
With-
plan moving forward in life, man? What you and your wife? What's your plan? What's your next year look like?
So that's like really hard to answer because we had a variable to come up, and come to find out, my wife is actually pregnant again.
Hello. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Number 2.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
So the bus, we're still doing the bus. We just have to do like a little revamp to the floor plan. So we're just gonna basically add bunk beds.
Cool.
And then that baby is due in February.
Oh my goodness.
So we've got some time. And right now it's just kind of like figuring out, there's a fine line between like doing what you want to do and doing what you have to do.
Right.
So I think that's where I'm like really struggling with right now, like personally, is like the responsibilities as a husband and a father versus like the responsibilities of being an example for my
Sure,
son of
sure.
who like be who you want to be.
Yes.
And it's like a real battle. So right now I'm just trying to figure out what exactly it is that I am happy doing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know work is work and you can't be happy doing like all of the whole work. But I was recently told to do like be happy 50% of the time and like enjoy your job like 50% of the time.
Right.
Sure.
And like I guess that can be good advice, but if you think about work and you think about life, like you spend half your life working, and if you spend half your time unhappy at work, then you're still like the majority unhappy.
Yes.
Right.
So you're still getting like a 75 in life. And 75 is a D, and I don't want to get a D in life.
Right.
So I'm just trying to find a job and like a career path that I really enjoy doing, and I think video is gonna fulfill that. I just need to figure out how to like this whole COVID thing kind of made
Monetize it, dude.
Yeah, and the whole YouTube stuff is
Let's
definitely
take a break
growing.
really quick before we go any further. Somebody just called my phone. I can delete this, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
But I didn't have my phone.
Is it still recording?
Yes, it is. Even better. So it didn't stop. Thank you. Thank you, software,
Yes.
for recording through that phone call.
So it's just figuring out what I want to do majority of the time,
Right.
and I think video is going to do that for me. It's just trying to figure out how to make that like financially stable.
Right.
Sure.
How to make it work.
Because the whole like creative industry is like, what do you charge? What do you want to do? And I've got some ideas in the works, and like I said, the whole YouTube thing is starting to like climb, and maybe I'll do like school bus consulting because I have a lot of like I'm interested in a lot of different things.
Sure.
And I want to utilize as many of those skills and things that I'm interested in as possible. So like I really like managing people and like building work structures, and then I also really like the creative stuff. But then I really like the school bus and like building things and like the whole development of like seeing something of a bunch of parts turn into something bigger.
Sure.
So if I can figure out an avenue of either starting my own business and doing that, or work for somebody that wants to build a cool company, because I just want to I don't care about the whole hours. I just want to do something worthwhile.
Right.
And
That's cool,
I
man.
want to make a meaning. And,
That's really
and,
great. That's
you know, help change
everybody
lives.
should feel that way.
Right.
I mean,
right.
not
So-
just be a zombie going in and doing a thing and leaving,
Yeah.
but making an impact. And that's why we do. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
For sure, same thing.
And it's doable because people do it all the time.
Absolutely.
It's just it's not the easiest route, and for whatever reason, I'm building a school bus, so I'm not taking the easy route. I should have just bought a RV.
Right.
So-
Right. Exactly.
But no, I mean, I'm pumped. We're super excited for the new baby, and Milo's. As soon as we found out that she was pregnant, Milo instantly started turning into a little brother, and just started instantly looking
Oh.
grown. And
It's
so-
weird how that changes
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And now to fathom that I'm our family's we're a family of 4,
Mhm.
and then we have to sit at a booth now because tables and
Right.
yeah,
That's funny.
the whole
That
dynamic
is
changes.
Crazy, dude.
So whether we keep the school bus and do that for a while, you can build a school bus relatively cheap and sell it for a good margin as well. So we might do that. But yeah,
Wow.
the next 6 months is going to be crazy interesting, as opposed to the past 3 years. But
Right.
As opposed to quitting our jobs and traveling across country and all
That hasn't been interesting
Yeah.
at all.
yeah, thank goodness I'm documenting this because I'm going to watch this when I'm 55 and be like, what was I thinking?
Oh no, totally. And this is the "What Are We Thinking" podcast.
So
Yeah,
you can
really,
see
genuinely
what was I thinking.
What was I thinking?
We'll probably ask ourselves that at some point.
I
What was I
promise.
thinking? So I'm going to be 50 in 9 years. So
It's
Well,
not as far away as you think, dude.
Dude, I know.
It's
and
actually really
I
close.
guess we're the same age, 27.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I've
27.
got this goal, and I'm trying to prepare myself for it as best as I can. But people have this midlife crisis, and I know 30 isn't a midlife crisis, but I've got a standard of where I wanted to be at 30.
Sure, dude.
So I've got 3 years to really grind and try and fail before I feel like I need to be a proper adult and be mature and stuff. So we'll see how
I
that
don't know.
goes. But
I don't know
don't
what that's like
I
either.
don't
Yeah,
even
I
know
mean-
if I ever want to be a proper adult.
Yeah, but-
just to be honest with you, proper adults irritate me, and they're boring.
yeah,
They're
and
so boring.
that's definitely not what I want to do. So
Sure.
I just hope that I prepare myself mentally
Absolutely,
for
dude.
that. Because I know 3 years isn't a very long time, but it also feels like a long time sometimes. So
It's not.
It's not a long time at all.
Yeah.
What the last 3 years of my life have been like.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, it feels like they went by so fast.
yeah. It's
So
the
fast.
Facebook memories is really keeping me accountable for where I was 3 years ago.
Dude,
and
same.
I think 3 years ago we were on our trip. It was state. It was a fourth state, and we were in Chicago.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, what was I doing back then? That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Just always be yourself, man. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You get to control that.
Yeah.
You're going to go through all kinds of experiences in life, but you just stay who you are. Stay true to that. I'm a big kid. I've always been a big kid. It's just naturally who I am. I'm not a proper adult or
Right.
not even a good adult.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
not
I'm not.
And I think the part that gets skewed with that is the standard of what people expect,
Mhm.
and to not just fulfill what people expect you
Yeah,
to be.
because there's an expectation here.
yeah
where we
for
live.
sure.
You grow
For
up,
sure.
you go get a job, and you start going to church, and you raise your family, and you
You have Christmas, Thanksgiving.
go to all the family functions. You wear certain clothes. You don't
Yeah.
you don't break the cycle of what your parents did. You do what they did. You work sometimes where your dad worked. You follow the profession or whatever.
Yep.
So it's just how things are done, and there's no, and it's why I feel like things are so stagnant. Everybody's just, my wife was the same way. We got married and she's like, okay, let's start going to church. I was like, ooh.
Right.
It was the same.
Yeah.
It was just,
It's what
she
you're
knew what
supposed to
it's
do.
what you're supposed to do. It's exactly what you're supposed to do. So, some of that's good, but some of it is just people don't even know why they do it.
Yeah.
They don't know why they work at the job they work
What's
at.
what's the value in that?
Mhm.
What are you actually doing? And I have this thing, and I call it spot fillers, but it's people that just live a life, do a job, and leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's what did you actually contribute? And
Right.
I don't want to be egotistical, but I want my name to be valuable.
Mhm.
I want to be.
I'm the same way.
I want to change, and I want to do as much as I can.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm really like picky on my jobs because I want to have as much impact as possible.
Right.
And trying to figure out how to do that
I get
is
that.
the tricky part.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It is.
With what I'm interested in.
Because I've had to do some like jobs like that in my life,
Yeah.
while still doing other things
Same.
to make a difference. And those jobs didn't add any value to my life whatsoever. They probably took more away from it than
Yeah.
anything. So, trying to get through that tension of like what you need to do, what you want to do, how to make the biggest impact. Because in the end, I think you get there.
Yeah.
I feel like right now in my life, like this is the coolest thing I've ever been able to do in my entire life.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff though gave me a lot of experience.
No, for sure.
And it shaped me a little bit for sure.
I'm about
or
to
a
do
lot.
this video with this girl that she was really pursuing music,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's what she wanted to do. Her family was in the music industry, and she was really like that was her top-notch passion, and it just wasn't working out for her. And within taking a step back from music, she started going she got a job at this place called Hot Box, which is like hot boxing. So like hot yoga, but like hot boxing. So you box in like a
like
100
boxing. I was
Yeah,
thinking
like-
hot boxing, like
No,
you
no,
get
no.
in a car and smoke weed.
no, like
I was like, she does
like
that for
fighting
a
boxing.
living,
Turn
bro.
around,
Like,
man.
I'm sure she loves her job if that's all she does for a living. Like, awesome.
So it's like physically boxing, like punching bags and stuff, and I think like 110 degrees. And
Whoa.
Interesting.
yeah, it sounds terrible. I'm not something I want to do, but
Sounds like some
she,
legit cardio, though.
no,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
legit, for
And
sure.
so I've been following her. I used to go to high school with her, but then she like took a step back from the music stuff and got like this job and just started doing something. And then now she's developed a whole new passion for this, and like is really motivated to do more with it. And she's getting a big following, and she really enjoys it, and she's helping people out. And the idea from the video is to like, just because something isn't working out doesn't mean it's not supposed to. Like,
Right.
you're like,
Right.
there might be an alternate opportunity for you that you just don't understand
cool.
yet.
That's
So that's
cool.
kind of where I'm at right now, is like, I really want this video stuff to work out, and that's exactly what I want to do. And I'm scared that I might get stuck in a rut again of like another job, and then
Sure.
once you have money, you have more bills.
Right.
But I also have to take that vulnerability and make sure that this is that I'll like just try something different.
That's cool, man.
Because I might work out.
That's awesome.
So
That's so cool. And so, just thank you for being on the podcast today.
Yes.
No, for sure.
Podcast.
Thanks,
so
guys.
much, man.
God.
This is so cool.
I can't talk.
What'd you say?
I don't even know. It wasn't podcast though. It was a podcast. Thank you for being on the podcast.
That's how you should end it. Podcast.
Thank you for being on the podcast. I don't know what I said. It's a whole new word. Podcast. Podcast.
Go on, say it one more time. Go.
Podcast.
People are gonna like see you at the gym and be like, podcast.
I hope so. I'd be so happy.
Everybody knows. Like,
People say plethora now.
yes, they do.
I've had other people come up to me and say we're a plethora. He messed up the word plethora the other day. I made fun of him for it on the podcast, and I've had multiple people come up to me and be like, man, y'all just put out a plethora of podcasts. And I was just like, this is awesome. I love that people are making fun of it.
And that's cool because like
Yeah.
I misspeak sometimes. Like my words in my brain just are traveling in different paces, different speeds, and it just doesn't work for me sometimes. But I'm okay with it. I can make fun of it. I can laugh
Totally.
about it. If I had some other kind of problem, I would laugh about it too. So because I laugh at things like that.
Totally. Same.
I laugh at other people. I laugh at myself. So it's how it works. But thanks for being on today, man.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much for your perspective and just learning about your life and what you're doing. That's so different. Like, I don't meet many people that do what you do. Like, that take the chance, that quit their job, that go out and just live their life to make an impact and to do something where they're not feel like they're wasting their time.
Right.
So it's been an honor to know you and meet you.
Absolutely.
And so
Thank you.
just thanks for hanging out with us.
No, of course.
Two guys in a classroom
A
having a
kid's
podcast.
classroom. We're going to have an office sometime soon. to do
One
this.
day.
No,
it's,
soon.
it's coming.
Soon,
It
dude,
is
it's
coming. We're going to have offices soon, and we're excited.
We can do it. We could do it in a school bus.
Dude.
All about
this
it.
in the school bus would be freaking sick. Why didn't we do that today? I didn't even think about
Well,
it.
yeah, that's so cool.
But it's okay.
We're going to go see the school bus today.
Yeah,
though. So it's
yeah,
going to be cool.
yeah.
But thanks for being on, bro. And everybody listening, thank you for listening to the What Are We Thinking podcast.
We love you so much.
We do, and we're thankful for you. So keep listening, keep sharing, keep liking it, keep telling people about it. Even if you live in McKenzie, tell people to listen to this
people about it.
podcast.
Yep.
Love you guys. We will see you later.
Later.
Bye.